Ladies and gentlemen, riding in Duzer.
I'm nervous. You know me, I get nervous. You're right, I'm not nervous. Yo, I'm with my people! Yes! Yes! Woo! First of all, thank you so much for being here. This means the world to me to see your faces in real life. I know that I interact with a lot of you on YouTube through comments or questions or emails. Some of you are my patrons. Thank you so much for supporting me. But to be able to see your faces in real life and hug you and shake your hand, it really means the world to me. About adventures in the hopes of inspiring you to get off your couches and to get out there. Just a little bit different than the other ones we've done. It's just been me talking, which gets super boring, right? You're supposed to say no. No way, right? I wanted to invite some of my special, amazing friends to talk with you today because there are a lot of people doing good things in the world, good things in the bike world, bicycle advocacy, and I really wanted you to hear their stories. And that's who you're going to hear from first tonight, and at the end, then I'll get on and talk with you a little bit. But it's my absolute honor to have 5 wonderful people here. You can see them behind. We've got Matty Johnson, Brooke Goudy, Dan Hurd, Dana Dershweiler, and Jeffrey Mizell. So first up tonight, I would love to introduce you to a new friend of mine. I met him a couple years ago at RAGBRAI. His name is Dan. And at RAGBRAI, Dan is a phenomenon. Everybody knows Dan because he's always surfing on his bicycle. Dan has a heart of gold. He's one of those people who is out here to make the world a better place. And Dan has been through the ringer so many times, and he's risen from the ashes. And his story tonight is really going to inspire you. And he's inspired me as a friend. So Danny, this is another funny thing. His name's not really Danny. I keep calling him Danny. And in my videos last year, I kept calling him Danny because I really thought his name was Danny. So at RAGBRAI this year, everybody kept saying, hey, Danny, Danny, Danny. But his name's not Danny, it's Dan. So sorry about that.
That's all right.
You're now known as Danny on my channel. Danny, give me a hug.
Yeah, brother.
Oh. One pedal at a time. Here you go, man. Have fun.
Thank you.
Hey guys. Well, first I want to say thank you to Duzer and the Priority team. This is my first speech since March of 2020, 3 days before the pandemic started. My last speech was to the military members in San Antonio for suicide awareness, which is what I do. I rode the lower 48 states, did 22,000 miles over 3 years, 7 months, and 6 days for suicide prevention. Started out for myself when I started cycling. I started in July of 2017. I rode motorcycles before that. I stopped riding bicycles at 14 years old when I started riding dirt bikes. And I thought cycling was for kids or people that couldn't afford cars or anything like that. I started getting healthy. By the time I left on my bicycle journey, I was 190 pounds. I, at some point, built a camper because of the pandemic that I towed behind me, which weighed 350 plus pounds. And with me on it was over 500. Cycling is, as much as it almost killed me, it has saved my life. It has given me purpose. The little corner of the sign that you can see up here says, make a stranger smile. That is my purpose in life, is to make people smile. I do that by doing tricks. I do that by just having conversations, making funny jokes and stupid stuff like that. But I made it so that my purpose in life is simple. And I think a lot of us struggle with keeping our purpose in life simple. So if you ever start struggling with what your purpose in life is, get on a bike, go have a therapy session, and remember, it's just to make people smile. That's all I got for you guys.
YouTube channel. He's going to start creating YouTube videos, so go check him out. Ride with Dan USA. Our speaker number 2 is Brooke Rowdy Goudy. Come on down. High school track star in Alabama, winning the state title in the 1 and the 200 meters. Runner, I love runners. It's so impressive. She rode the Great Divide mountain bike trail. She's all about mountain biking and getting women out on bikes, specifically people of color. Representation matters, right? And what else?
talk about is really, really tough. It's really beautiful, but the idea of this being your first bikepacking trip, obviously it was really hard for me to continue to find the motivation to keep going. In fact, I got to Colorado and I was like, I mean, people will think I did a great effort if I just if I just stop here. I mean, but no. My family said so many people are rooting for you. So many young Black girls, young women of color are looking at you and seeing you having this great adventure, whether it was women or I have to admit, I don't have a bicyclist or cyclist physique. I'm just the person who lives next door, who's a school nurse, who decided to get on their bike and have this grand adventure. And know that no matter what you look like, no matter what your body looks like, that you can do hard things, that there will be tears, there will be hard times, there will be mechanical failures, but you have everything inside of you to be able to get through that. I'm just so glad that you invited me here to share my unique experience, and I appreciate y'all being here to listen to it. My organization is Rowdy Goudy. If you're interested in supporting to help me out, that would be great. You can follow me at rowdygoudy.com, or you can go to my Instagram at rowdy_outside.
Next up, we have my friend Jeffrey from Fort Collins. We have any Fort Collins people in the crowd? Last year, you may remember it. We rode around Boulder, Colorado. We talked a lot about the initiatives that Adventure Cycling are doing to get more people on bicycles. Adventure Cycling, if you don't know, have developed a lot of the big routes all across the United States, the Great Divide being one of them, the Trans Am route. And I will let Jeffrey talk about his personal story and how it led to Adventure Cycling. So let's hear it for Jeffrey Mizell.
Adventure Cycling started as an organization called Bicentennial in 1976 when a group of people decided to bike across the country on a trail that didn't exist, which became the Trans Am, the Trans-America route. Since then, it has grown into Adventure Cycling Association, which is the largest bike travel nonprofit in the world. And we maintain over 55,000 mapped miles of routes, including the Great Divide mountain bike route, the Trans Am, the Northern Tier, the Southern Tier, and all over North America. I'll give you a really cool story of an amazing race that I won, or an amazing piece of gear that I found. This is no shade on Priority, but I don't have that amazing piece of gear that I found that changed my life. What I do have is a very short story about a broken down, step-through frame with a basket, most likely stolen bike in Japan. So I grew up on a small island in southern Japan called Okinawa, and I lived sort of in like this 1 square mile bubble in my life. 1 mile, my 1 square mile of life. I went down the coast. I went in and around the culture, and I connected with more people in my community, and I rode with my friends who had bikes, and I'd opened up business opportunities for me to go to different sushi restaurants and try to get them to buy my cuttlefish, which none of them did. So anyway, their loss. Our goal as an organization with all of our programming is to bring the essence to emerging riders or people who want to be bike travelers of Edward Abbey, the famed novelist, when he said that, and I'm going to cut out some words, a person traveling by bike can see more, hear more, and feel more in 1 mile than a motorized tourist can in 100. People who want to get into bike travel. We have intro to bike travel workshops. We're developing our short routes, so check it out. Meet me after, and we'll definitely talk about how you all can get involved and help grow the movement of bike travel.
Right on. Okay, so how many people here have ever met a professional baseball player? A few? Oh, Dan, no, you don't get to play. Because our next speaker was a professional baseball player for the Boston Red Sox. You may have heard of them. They beat the Rockies in the World Series back in when? 2007. Okay, 2007. He has a World Series ring, but that's not why he's here tonight. He's not talking about baseball. I have a new friend. His name is Matty Johnson. On YouTube, he is Matty Active. I love what he is doing in the bike world. He decided during COVID to pick up bikes. He had never really biked in his life, and now he has a thriving YouTube channel where he teaches people how to bike, and I think what you're doing is absolutely incredible. So Matty Active, get on up here, buddy.
Thank you, Priority, for having me. Thank you, Ryan, for inviting me out here. It's awesome to see all of you here. This is kind of nerve-wracking. I've played baseball in like 1,000 times more people, but I'm nervous to talk in front of you guys. So when I learned that persistence can take you a long way in life, and that's my goal in life, is to just let people know if you just don't take no for an answer, even if it doesn't lead you to the place you want to be, it'll lead you to somewhere great. And that's where the biking came in, because after my career with baseball, I didn't know what I wanted to do. I was like, this sucks, because I've been playing baseball since I was 9 years old, and I didn't know what to do with myself after that. And I gained a bunch of weight. Like, I can relate to Dan when he was talking about that. I had been an athlete my whole life and gained, 30 pounds? I'm too small to weigh 200 pounds. So I was some random pawn shop, and I was like, I'm gonna buy me a cheap bike and just ride around town and explore Denver. And I had a GoPro, but I never knew what to use the GoPro for. So I would wear it when I rode just to look at the city and the video when I got finished. And my GoPro got full. And I was like, where do I put all this video? So I put it on YouTube, and I was like, okay, now I got more footage on my GoPro. So I fast forward to now, sitting at 20,000 subscribers now, I think. I can be more thankful for bikes, because bikes gave me a whole new purpose in life and took me out of a dark place in my life when I didn't think that I was meant for anything else other than playing baseball, because I honestly didn't think I was good at anything except baseball. And then I started riding bikes, and that's when it clicked that I'm not an athlete. I feel like my purpose in life is to motivate and inspire other people. And that's what I try to do through my YouTube channel and through biking. So I try to get people on bikes, and when they watch my videos, I want them to get that fuzzy feeling and just feel good about what they just watched and make them want to go out and ride bikes.
Matty, you can add public speaking to the list of things that you don't suck at. That was great, wasn't it? Thank you, thank you. I know her. She is one of my best friends. She has been on the channel just a few times. Dana, it's so amazing to have you sitting right here and looking at you. I'm going to introduce you, and you're going to get on this stage and you're going to rock this world. But Dana D!
There are a lot of you out there. There really are. Well, first of all, thanks, Ryan, and that was such an awesome intro, so sweet. And thanks to everybody from Priority here, Dave and Connor and Greg and all the folks. Gates, I met that guy. Oh my God, I love those carbon drive belts. It's like butter.
Carbon belt drive.
Carbon belt drive. It's like butter. You know what I'm talking about. And also to BOA for giving us this awesome space. That's really great. I was thinking about all the things I could talk about, and because it's his crowd, I thought right away, like, wow, maybe I should be talking about being a lifetime endurance athlete. Or maybe I could talk about being a living donor. Like, that was really life-changing for me. I gave my brother a kidney, and since then I've started a foundation in his name, the KRD Foundation, and there are 3 people on the board, Xantha, me, and Ryan. We do a fundraiser every year, and that's been really amazing to get a lot of kids on bikes when we do that. I was thinking maybe I should talk about setbacks, because let me tell you, you don't get to be this old and not have some real stuff happen, both physically and mentally. I think Ryan invited me to take you to church. So, is how love and kindness and being a good person contributes to the amount of joy in my life, in this journey, and on every adventure that we go on. Yeah. We choose our attitude. So when we are out there, smile, appreciate, be present with whatever we are doing. All those olays that Ryan sings in the tunnels, all of that puts him really present in what he's doing. And remember, our attitudes are contagious. We were just in New York where it was pouring rain on a ride that we had from start to finish. And everyone had such a great attitude that we were just in it. We knew we were going to get wet, but it was an experience that we got to share together. And it was just so great to do, all of that. And it was all about our attitude. That's what got us there. And I have been many things in life, but what I am doing with my life is striving to lead with love. I have a daily mantra that I would like to leave you with now, and I hope that some piece of it might just stick with you. I say it every day. Sometimes I have to say it more than once a day, but it goes like this. I am grateful. I accept. I appreciate. I care about others. I look for ways to contribute. I care about life. I am in awe of life, and I'm so grateful to be a part of it. That's all I have.
That Mr. Rogers quote, there's a lot of them since we're speaking about quotes tonight. When I would look on the news and I'd see things that scared me, my mother would tell me to look for the helpers. There's always helpers. And these 5 people who you just heard speak tonight are some of the helpers. Because what's going on in the world right now is scary and overwhelming. We can scroll through our phones or watch the news, and we wonder what's going to come of the future. For me personally, it really hits me hard because I want everybody on this planet to thrive, and we can only do so much as individuals. But when you hear from people like this, Matty, Dana, Brooke, Dan, Jeffrey, it gives me hope. And it gives me hope to see all of you, because we are the helpers. We are the ones who can make a difference in our own little communities. Maybe we start with our families, and then we go to our neighborhoods, and then maybe a little bit bigger level. So I don't want to talk too much at you. You see me talking enough in my videos. I think it'd be fun to open this up to questions already and make it a little bit more interactive. As it came all the way from Cortez, Colorado. How you doing?
So when you rode your New Belgium skinny tire cruiser bike across the United States and one of the cranks broke off towards the end of the ride, how did you finish that with one crank?
And I've talked about this before, became my freedom machine. That bike allowed me to see parts of the world that I'd never seen before. Because when you're a little kid, it's hard to travel on your own. You always have to be with your parents in a car, or they're holding your hand and they're guiding you. But once you get that bicycle, you can go past the confines of your neighborhood. And those are some of the first feelings of freedom that I ever had on my own. And I remember riding to my elementary school on Saturdays and Sundays and playing on the playground. So that inner spirit of sharing inspirational stories with the world, hoping that it would someday work out. And it's working out. Greg, should we do a giveaway or something? Okay, of course, right on, okay. What are we gonna give away right now? Okay, who wants that bike? Wow, it's so pretty. So this is the Priority 600X, the bike that I designed in conjunction with my friends at Priority. It's the bike that I ride all over the world. It's got the Gates carbon drive and the pinion drivetrain, super low maintenance, so it doesn't really break. So Matty, this would be a great bike for you. Oh, you already have one, don't you? Lucky. We probably need some sort of a drum roll. I'm not looking. Okay. Chad Pritchard. Yay! Dana's going to be giving away hugs all night. Come give hugs from Dana. We're going to hang around for a little bit because the speakers would love to hear from you. I'm sure you have some questions for them. We want to interact with you as long as we can. We know it's late. We know it's cold. But we just want to say thank you so incredibly much for coming out here tonight. Supporting me, supporting Priority Bike, supporting Dana and Matty and Dan and Jeffrey and Brooke. This is the good stuff in life. Seriously, it is. So thank you all so much for being here. Drive home safely or ride your bikes home safely. And we will see you next time. Cheers.